What is up everyone, SoftColors here, and I asked you guys what questions you have regarding my game Aquadine. So today, I'll be answering them. So our first question is, how did the game do financially? I always hear that English visual novels in particular rarely ever make their costs back, and considering Aquadine's high production values, I'd assume the costs were higher than normal too. And yeah, you're right. I invested roughly $17,000 to produce Aquadine, and it's been roughly 7 months since release, and based on gross revenue from both Steam and itch, I've made back only a little over 5,000, so it's been pretty rough. And unfortunately, I don't see it getting higher at the moment, and because of the results, it makes me question my future as a developer. Do I really want to continue making English visual novels, because the genre is just so niche, and even the target audience that I'm catering to, they usually prefer the Japanese-made visual novels. So it's a really tough niche out there, a really tough competition. And let's go to our second question. What were your inspirations on the environment of the game here? Definitely Venice and Atlantis. Those were two very aquatic kind of settings that I've always been inspired by since I was a kid, and I just thought it would be interesting to kind of combine them together, make my own unique world, and kind of see what I can do with that. What were your inspirations for the city of Aquadine, particularly its mythology and folklore? I'd have to say probably the anime Nagi no Asukara. I was really inspired by how they made this concept known as Enna, where you're able to breathe while you're underwater if you have this type of skin. And I just thought that was really interesting, and everyone from the underwater, they had these special eyes. So I wanted to see if I could kind of throw my own spin at it, and also take some inspiration from My Little Mermaid and kind of create my own mythology. And it just kind of started from there, and I just kept adding some more ideas and seeing what worked and what didn't work. What other ideas did you have for the title when drafting the story? Or was Aquadine a one and done thing? You know, funny enough, the title was just, it took me a really long time to come up with the title. But I eventually settled with Aquadine because I was just trying to combine some words, and I just knew I wanted to use undines as a major point of the story, like the spirits, kind of tie that in with the mythology. So I came up with Aqua and Undine to create Aquadine. And honestly, I can't think of a better title right now, because the story is so heavily driven by its setting. So I definitely want to call the title based on the setting. But Aquadine just happened to be one I settled with. Were the character designs drawn up from scratch, or did you have doodles or character templates floating around beforehand? Okay, so for the most part, I had a pretty clear idea of what I wanted all the characters to look like. Whenever I communicated with the artist, I always had a bunch of references laid out. I knew from the start, Anya would have dark, long hair, and also a purple hairband, and I knew that Diana would have a ponytail, red hair. I just came up with all the reference images I could find. But there was one character that I actually designed myself, and that would be Mute. He's a very mysterious character who appears particularly in Anya's route. I designed that character back when I was in college, and I just had my character artist redraw it towards her style. So that was the one exception there. But for the most part, I had a pretty clear idea of what I wanted. For side characters though, a lot of times I just give my character artist some more freedom. If you had to pick someone other than Anya to be the main girl, who would it be? That's honestly a tough one, because honestly I feel all four heroines are pretty strong in their own right. Cameron is pretty interesting, being a very close friend with Robin, the main character. But I guess Elizabeth would be a pretty excellent choice too, because she does have ties with with some of the lore in the story. But Diana was also a particularly interesting character as well. Like, I honestly really like Diana. Like, she's probably like the most relatable character in the story. So, if I had to choose, it'd probably either be Diana or Elizabeth. Maybe leaning towards Diana because she's like really popular and really relatable. But Elizabeth would make sense in terms like of like lore, because she's probably like one of the closest ones outside of Anya to be connected towards that. If you had to continue the story in the same world, would it be in the same city? Honestly, there are options there. I did introduce the city of Sophia, so if I wanted to make a story revolve around Sophia, it would still technically be like in the same world of Aquadine. I could like create like self spirits and just have its own story with its own culture revolve entirely around Sophia. So I could make that happen, but it really depends. Yeah, it really depends. Like I'm not sure if I would do like Aquadine again though, but there are options there. Like there are like other characters that I could like expand on further, but or I could like do like a sequel towards like a different character. Like I'm not sure. Like there are a lot of possibilities there. So yeah, depends. Are there any strong media sources of inspiration for the VN or the characters in it? Yeah, like the main inspirations for Aquadine were Clan Ad, which is pretty much like a safe for work romance comedy visual novel. It was a major inspiration for Aquadine because like Clan Ad's success really inspired me to pursue Aquadine as like a very family themed story, because like a lot of other visual novels like they cater more towards like the 18 plus audience, but that's not the type of story I wanted to go for. I wanted to create a story that was memorable for the audience and make something very impactful, something that they'll remember for a very long time. I guess my other inspiration would be Audia the animation. Like that was like a really big inspiration for like the setting. I really did enjoy how it was a very relaxing slice of life story. While mine is a bit different, like mine's Aquadine's not really going for the Iyashikei, but the setting that Arya showed off was really beautiful. I wanted to kind of recapture that feeling in my own way. Instead of a cat, what other shapes could Banjo have ended up as? Okay, like I just wanted it to be like just some funny mascot animal. I thought Fat Cat would be hilarious, especially since like there's so much water everywhere. Like there's a lot of potential for how the cat interacts with each scenario. Like okay, like what if they play in the water or something? How will the cat react? Despite like the cat actually being like something completely different inside. But other forms, I was thinking maybe either a pig. A pig could be funny. I don't know, just some really funny looking animal. Maybe a dog. I don't know. I just settled with a fat cat because I just thought it would be hilarious. Who was your favorite character to write for? That would probably be Diana actually. Like to be honest, like Diana first started off as like a side character. It was originally just supposed to be two major heroines, which were Anya and Elizabeth. Like one would focus more on the mythology, like that part of the town, while Elizabeth would focus more on the present day. Like since she's like new to the town, like the main character Robin, he would introduce her to like different scenes and stuff, while Anya would represent the mythology. So it's like two different parts of the town. But Diana, she was originally supposed to be like girl A or girl B or something, I forget. But like she's always been Anya's best friend, but I never thought she'd become like her own character. Like after I wrote a couple of drafts and sent the story to some of my friends, they started to really like Diana to the point where I decided to give her like her own roots. Like I'm honestly surprised by that, but that's just where we are, and I don't regret it at all. I think she's a fantastic character. I'm pretty proud of like how she turned out. Like she's really energetic on the outside, but inside she could be insecure. So it was just really refreshing to write a character like that. She's a lot deeper than what you might expect. The city of Aquadine in the visual novel bears so much resemblance to Venice in Italy. Was it inspired by Venice itself? Not Venice itself, but mostly because of Audia the animation, which was in itself inspired by Venice. I think Audia was what really showed me how beautiful like Venice could be. Like I think if it weren't for Audia the animation, I'm not sure if I would have decided on like a Venice inspired setting. But I just thought it was really cool to have this culture where like people are like scrolling with their gondolas, and like it's something that you don't really see like in many other countries at all. So I just wanted like to kind of put my own spin on it and see how it would go. Kind of just depict it in my own way. And you know, it couldn't have been done without like the work of the artists. Like they did a great job. Did you ever consider giving May a root during development? I sort of. Okay, so she's Cameron's sister, and she was meant to be a plot point for both Cameron's root and Elizabeth's root. But for Elizabeth's root, like I kind of like trimmed off like her significance there because like it would kind of mess with the focus of the root. And kind of just wanted to focus on like Elizabeth's like idol part of her root, while Cameron, I wanted to like create more opportunities for conflict between the siblings, because like May, she's always liked Robin from the start, while a lot of people don't really like Robin because he kind of started like a bad reputation for himself because of some work issues. I won't delve too deeply there because it's kind of spoilery, but I don't know, like I figured May does have a lot of potential to be a heroine, and I figured if I were to make like a continuation of Aquadine, she could definitely be like one of the characters I could expand on more and possibly give her a root. But I just thought it would be interesting to see how like Cameron and May would interact when one already likes the main character while the other one, who's always been like Robin's best friend, is slowly but surely possibly like getting some feelings, but we don't know yet, and how that would affect like their relationship as siblings. So yeah, that's it. If you have any more, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But yeah, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.